I've seen the likes of the skills of Will Clark, Serena Williams, Ozzie Smith, Hall of Fame. I've worked with them all.
He did it with Michael Spinks.
Go, 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 go.
Went from light heavyweight, put on that muscle, went up to heavyweight, became the heavyweight champion of the world. Then he did it with Roy Jones Jr., which was a remarkable feat, the way he transformed Roy's body into a very imposing, powerful heavyweight.
Remember, I've worked with the best. I've worked with 3,000 pro athletes in every sport, including members of armed forces. Roy showed up every day on time, did everything I asked. Bernard Hopkins, I never had to worry about showing up, never had to worry about being on time. I actually know them better than they do. I know what's inside them, because you see, when the entourages go, I'm left with the human strengths, the human frailties. I know what their psyche is. One time around, follow me, under 152 heart rate, and understand how to work under fatigue situations. You ready? I have never met anybody that has the discipline that I have. Don't waste the energy. Push him away, push him away, push him away. Until I met Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins did working with Mackie Shilstone for this fight. You feel now that you're more able to look for a knockout in this fight as a result of the kind of training you've done?
Absolutely. I think it gives me more of a self-insurance that I can hang in there with the armor. I'm talking about the armor of conditioning and the armor to be able to compete at the light heavyweight level. And I think that's what's going to shock a lot of people tonight.
This is the tempo at Bernard Hopkins loves to fight. Antonio Tarver was knocked down by Bernard Hopkins.
What's amazing about Bernard has a lot to do with Nazim Richardson, his trainer.
When he overcommit like that, give me a combination. Let me pay for that.
Bernard understands the game on all levels. And the fact that Bernard is going to recognize the history of Roy Jones. And that's what I'm preparing for.
That's the combination.
So it's Bernard Hopkins' discipline, the discipline of a Spartan king.
The story of his life, when he writes the book, he said the title will be Discipline.
And it is his knowledge of this game.
His vast storehouse of ring knowledge. This is the mentality of the pure knockout puncher.
Those are the two gifts that will allow him to be able to be victorious.
Big left hook by Hopkins. Headline for this fight should be Legend Kills. And now Mackie Shilstone goes 3 for 3.
Yep.
Spinks, Jones, Hopkins.
What an honor for me to be able to work with a man like Bernard Hopkins. Roy Jones is an incredible human being. There is no athlete I've ever encountered who has the athletic skill of Roy Jones Jr.
What Roy does now and what he has to do and what I instill is him, every minute detail is very important. We have to stay focused. We have to look down the barrel and know when the guy's going to pull the trigger. And to do that, you have to constantly put him under the gun, under the pressure, and let him see it coming.
Richard should not be taking these shots.
I marvel at my physiology tests and what I see this man can do. He's firing out under resistance cords, 200 and 300 punches like it's nothing. The bouncing ball, the speed ball that the fighters hit, he makes the thing talk. I think his ability is unparalleled.
And the crowd stands and cheers Roy Jones.
Mackie Shilstone, the man who held to work with Roy Jones for this fight. Once again, the victory.
They came here, and they sat in the F-15, and it had a profound effect on both of them. In fact, Bernard was at the end of the runway, and Roy sat in the cockpit. I'm a student of great war history. They know that. Each one of them, I gave them a scenario. I told Roy, we've got to go in and we've got to take a shot right here. But in order to get in here, we've got to take him out here. And that's what Roy did when he broke Ruiz's nose.
Blood trickling from the left nostril of John Ruiz. His face is a bloody mask.
For Bernard, for Roy, I gave them a strategy based on great battles.
Ability to train for a realistic fight. You know, you put the headgear on to spar. Well, this stuff, we're doing the exact same physical execution we would in a real fight.
When did you start to see the connection between his world and the world of boxing?
They know exactly the weapons they have, they know how to use them and when to use them, and they spar and practice on a regular basis. So it was a marriage made in heaven, and it affected both Bernard and Roy immensely.
One of the most vicious finishers in the sport. There's a solid right cross by Jones.
No single thing that I could do could impart to them what being in the cockpit of an F-15 and talking to pilots that will use the term sparring and enemy and aggressor. There would be nothing that I could do that would match what you're looking at above.
He's bringing pressure, and he's throwing real knockout bombs with both hands.
These are two aggressor forces that have been trained at the 159th Fighter Wing and gotten their wings.
Hopkins rips Pavlik with the right hand. And those are bombs he's throwing. A flame of pure fire.
Now you've got two F-15s that are going to actually fight each other.
It is a knockdown. This is absurd. Stop the fight.
Lieutenant Lampert is part of an elite unit in the New Orleans Police Department called the NOPD SWAT team.
I think the biggest similarity is the warrior spirit that both of these boxers possess, and that to some degree the members of my SWAT team also possess. Losing is not an option. I think that the warrior mentality with these fighters, as they step in the ring, they feel that same sense of, I can't lose.
Victory celebration in the Jones corner. Hopkins is making his point.
Your skill, your wisdom, your desire, and your passion. That's what you're going to see in the fight. Two young men that are passionate, not about winning, but about taking everything from the opponent.
What time is it? Execution time!
We have the Bernard Hopkins Spartan Army, and we have the Roy Jones Spartan 300 to ultimately decide who will be the Spartan leader. And trust me, it's the truth, because I told them how to do it. Systematically start taking them apart. Start taking, go for the shoulder. So we got to take out his radar.
And you don't give up none of your missiles that made you successful.
Those missiles will come, and they will come as to one that you'd least suspect. They will marshal with their own innate skills. Skills that they possess, which are their soldiers.
It's life or death, period.
How would you act when you know you about to go live or die? You think that's a good feeling?
We are moving into a theater of operation. It is a 20 by 20 ring. There will be a Geneva Convention rules. There will be a Red Cross, that's the referee. You will be from this land, your opponent will be from that land. There will be rules of engagement.
What a shocking turn of events!
And they're fighting in the center of the ring.
You assume this is a fight. War is about to break out.